This is definitely the scariest horror movie I've ever seen. Not only does it have legs longer than life, but it also wears a black suit. To provide you with warm service, the captain, who is blindfolded by ghosts, will take you on a foreign flight. Hurry up and love your friends in the big city and experience the thrilling and exciting 407 flight with them. There was a strange accident on this plane. All the passengers in the plane died. Only one flight attendant was lucky to survive. In order to save money, they asked someone to restart the plane and continue to use it. The high-ranking officials, who thought they were smart, were confused. Their action would put the next passengers in an endless abyss. As the only survivor of the last accident, Olivia looked at the plane in front of her and felt cold. At the same time, Jack was also doing the final check on the plane. He thought it was all over. Suddenly, there was a strange sound in our ears. In order to ensure that the plane can run normally, he opened the cabin door and climbed in. Jack only looked at the fallen parts, but he didn't notice that there was a ghost shadow behind him. When he wanted to leave, the cabin door was already locked. Jack hurriedly took out the walkie-talkie to ask for help, but no matter how he shouted, the crew members didn't respond. Not long after, the plane took off smoothly. But what followed was a series of strange events. Two colleagues didn't take it to heart. They thought it was Olivia who left a post-traumatic stress disorder after the last accident. However, as soon as Olivia stepped into the cabin, the monk saw a row of bloody footprints behind her. With such a strong force, the monk was so scared that he closed his eyes and meditated. The little girl also witnessed everything. She asked the monk if there was anything dirty, but he denied it. When Jack went to the bathroom to wash up, a pair of ghost hands suddenly appeared behind her and scratched her face. Jack, who felt pain in his face, wanted to ask the flight attendant for a Band-Aid. However, as soon as he turned his head, the wound disappeared into thin air. As soon as the plane passed through the clouds, a fat man stood up. The flight attendant urged him to go back and sit up. The fat man's face suddenly burst into tears. With everyone's attention, the fat man looked up at the sky for a while, and then he turned his head 360 degrees. The flight attendant rushed forward to check his injury, but strangely, the fat man slowly sat up, like a normal person. At the same time, Jack was trying hard to climb to the air vent. He noticed that someone was behind him and turned around, but he saw ghosts all over the cabin. Fortunately, the captain found something. The two guessed that there might be something alive in the cabin, so the captain immediately went to the cabin. This was how Jack was saved. After Jack settled down, the captain returned to the cabin again. When he carefully inspected, he accidentally stepped on a pile of mud. Before the captain figured out the situation, a ghost shadow suddenly flashed by. Looking at the shabby cabin in front of him, the captain simply couldn't believe his eyes. He hurriedly turned on the light, but he didn't expect that in the next second. Not long after, the captain returned to the cabin in a strange way. He kept saying, "I want to see the captain." Looking at the back of the captain, Olivia was shocked, because he went straight through the cabin door. After the plane reached a certain height, his body also changed into a horrible look. Then the cabin was suddenly compressed. The whole cabin was in a mess. Some even twisted their bodies, and the real ghost flight was about to take place.